Autism is a serious developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. This disorder is characterized by repetitive behaviors, unique strengths and differences. My name is Bill Hawaka, and here is a preview of what is ahead.
Up, fairway launch, beat, you make it 90, back one straight. Up, turn side, straight.
Autism is actually one of the conditions that usually brings what we call challenges with social interaction.
Yes.
And many people with this condition usually have issues to do with coordination.
Language, then we do speech therapy because they're not able to speak fast enough.
Early signs and symptoms of autism can be diagnosed at an age of 18 months. On the usual though, most signs appear between the ages of 2 to 3 years old. We went out to find from the public if they are aware of autism. Take a look at what we found out.
Okay, and now Leah, I'll ask you about autism. Have you had a disease called autism?
No,
Not at all.
never.
Never.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you autism?
Autism.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard of autism
I've never heard of it.
at all. Have you had a disease called autism?
Autism?
Yes.
No.
Have you heard of autism?
Yeah, I have.
What comes to mind when you hear?
When I hear autism, I think of reduced ability to socialize when you're young, and just a certain level of retardation somehow. Not very not to sound mean, but some type of retardation. I'm not so sure. I think maybe it's hereditary. I don't think so. In Africa, not so much. Maybe, I don't know why, but I'm inclined to think maybe it's not only, but it mainly affects the West. And you know what I'm trying to say, as in, it's not a big issue in Africa. Yeah, but I'm sure it is in Africa, it's present, but maybe minimally.
Autism is often accompanied by other medical conditions such as gastrointestinal disorders, sleep disturbances, anxiety, seizures, and phobias. Dr. Tom Boyer presented us with the following information on autism.
Autism, also generally called autistic spectrum disorder, is a disease characterized by social interaction difficulties, communication or language difficulties, and attention difficulties. Some of the signs and symptoms for someone suffering from autism include, so based on the three main categories, we have sleep disorders. The patients may also have mood disorder. They can also have anxiety disorder, and they're also hyperactive. So for children, you'd notice their hyperactivity by taking part in repetitive engagements. So whether it's just carrying a pen and looking at it, they want to do that all and over and over, or taking pleasure in things that don't look pleasurable per se, like following their fingers and marveling at them so much when they are old enough to have passed that stage. So one of the things that you discover over time when you're looking at autism, it's a diagnosis we make most of the time in children, is that they may have delayed milestones. And the fact that their milestones are delayed, they don't learn as fast as the rest. They don't seem to get it quickly, whether it's by speaking, their language is a bit delayed. For instance, by 1 year or 1 year, 2 months, thereabout, the baby should be able to speak certain words. You realize that these babies are not able to do that. And then when you look at it like now in an adult, then these are people who are more withdrawn. They tend to have mood issues. They tend to have concentration disabilities, like they cannot concentrate in something and take it to conclusion. They tend to jump from one thing to another. They don't like to play with others. Like, it's something as simple as that, not being able to play interactive sports with others. not being a team player in games, always withdrawing to themselves, wanting to entertain themselves, sit alone, sit in their room. And that may seem mild. But then now the more severe ones is when these ones, the presentation accompanies an obvious deficit, where, for instance, they are slow to learn. When they go to school, they don't understand as fast as the other children, or they are not able to talk. Those are now the more severe signs that we are able to pick. But then we encourage mothers and fathers, parents, to bring in their children for observation if they notice there's any change. Sometimes they start really well, or the autism sets in much later. So for instance, a baby can be born, grow all the way to maybe 9 months, achieve all the milestones, and then they suddenly start regressing. If they are able to walk, they suddenly can't walk. Or if they're already crawling, they're crawling on their knees and moving all over the house. They move from crawling on their knees, now they're crawling on their stomach. So those are just telltale signs, like the gains made in the milestones are moving backwards. That's a way to also detect it. The dietary and fitness considerations for our autistic patients is that we go case by case. There are patients that may exhibit hyperactivity. So when they're hyperactive, we don't want to give them overdose in terms of the food, overdose in quotes, of energy-giving foods, because that makes them even more hyperactive. But then overall, it's about a balanced diet, one that they can get all their vitamins, all their minerals, they can get their carbohydrates and their proteins in a more balanced out form. For physical activity, for those patients who are not able to hit their milestones, then that's where we do their physiotherapy and their occupational therapy. When they come to the hospitals, they are taught how to walk, they are taught how to stand, they're even taught how to fall. For parents who have healthy babies, sometimes you can take it for granted that our babies know how to fall. An autistic child, depending on the severity, may not even be aware that they are falling. So they are trained on how to fall. Like when you're falling, you want to stretch out your hand, and so that at least you touch the surface before your head hits the floor. So basic things like those ones, they're taught basically skills on how to survive. They can be taught if they are good. For instance, they can be very good artists. They cannot know how to talk, but they can now, because they are more picture oriented, they can know how to paint. So they're taught along that line. In conclusion, I'd like to tell the members of the society that the autistic members of our society belong to the bracket of people that we would call, in quotes and very kindly, slow growers. These are people whose learning skills and abilities to adapt and their milestones in life, they hit them pretty slowly compared to the other members of the society. And we should not stigmatize them. Instead, we should embrace them, because they learn best by observing. They learn best when they are incorporated into activities, even if they cannot be able to do them or execute them to the normal level that the other children or even the other adults, because we have autistic adults, the other adults are not able to execute. The autistic adults are not able to execute to the same level as the normal adults. But that said, there's a lot of research, like we have stated, going into autism. And right now, even parents with autistic children are taking them to schools that have integrated curriculum, so that the autistic children are learning alongside the normal children. And that's the way to go. I mean, because they learn from observing, they're best in the observing environment where their peers are.
Just as problem eating behaviors can prevent autistic patients from getting the nutrients they need, so can consistently consuming highly refined foods. Such foods may contain artificial dyes and preservatives that could be associated with aggravating behavioral symptoms. Eating natural whole foods may be an important treatment intervention. We talked to the nutrition expert who enlightened us with the following knowledge. Greetings, welcome to Health in Flavor. This is our nutrition segment. Thank you so much for joining us. And also joined by Mr. Kefa Nyanumba. He's our nutrition expert. Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
So thank you so much for making your time to join us.
Thank you so much.
We are looking at a case study of autism.
Yes.
And our case studies of a 31-year-old female by the name Carol.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, autism and the complaints that come with it. Tell us something quite a slow brush about it.
Okay. Now, autism is actually one of the conditions that usually brings what we call challenges with social interaction.
Yes.
And many people with this condition usually have issues to do with coordination. And a number of them actually experience what you call digestive issues. They complain of, acidity, they end up getting gas. And all these conditions are actually supposed to be addressed. And that's what we do as nutritionists, to make sure that we achieve the desired outcome.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking at the dietary history of our patient, Carol.
Yes.
We see that she takes a diet that's rich in milk and dairy products.
Yes.
Like cheese, milk, flavored milk, some yogurt.
Which is actually not very good for patients with this condition, because they're supposed to take a casein-free and a gluten-free diet. Casein-free means they're supposed to get rid of all the dairy products because of casein, and they're also supposed to make sure that they get rid of gluten, which comes from wheat products.
Okay.
Yes.
I know that there are some children who also suffer from autism at a young age, at maybe 3 years, 4 years.
Yes.
I wanted to find out what about them, since dairy products and let's say milk are usually advised for children to take, so that
because of the strong bonds and all that.
Bonds, yes.
So, but remember, we have different sources of nutrients. For example, if they're not able to take dairy products, they can get calcium from the seafoods. They can also get calcium from nuts.
Okay.
So they still need to cut down their intake of, or in fact avoid. To avoid the dairy products. The dairy products. Yes.
So milk, this flavored yogurt.
Yes.
It's a no-no.
Yes, especially for the people who have bad cases of autism.
Okay.
Yes.
Then she reports having cravings for wheat products, such as whole grain bread and pasta.
Now. Wheat products, as I said, have what you call caffeine. Wheat products have what you call gluten.
Gluten,
and such patients, of course, need to avoid gluten, because it also seems to make this condition actually worse. So they need to, avoid chapatis. They need to avoid pasta. Because all these products actually will tend to make this condition worse, autism.
All right.
Yes.
Something that is great to see. I see that she loves taking fruits. And she likes taking tea, but she takes tea with processed sugar. And she also occasionally takes tea with some cakes and some donuts. Okay, now first and foremost, fruits are very good because of the antioxidants. Yes. So, for example, we have the passion fruits that are very good sources of vitamin C and iron, of course. So it's important that she actually tries to increase her fruit intake, which is very good. Now, talking about tea and coffee, I would actually recommend that she try to cut down her intake of the tea because of the nicotine. So nicotine is not very good because it tends to promote what you call inflammation. And in this case, we are trying to make sure that we reduce inflammation. So what can she substitute tea with? Okay, we have, for example, soya. Soya would be very good because it doesn't bring about cravings and it doesn't seem to promote what you call inflammation. How about drinking chocolate? Drinking chocolate, of course, not very bad compared to the tea or the coffee. So it can also be part of the recommended. Occasionally? Yes, or once or a while, Okay. Yes. But then when it comes to the donuts and the cakes? Now, those ones are actually processed. And when we talk about the management of this condition, we also want to make sure that we don't have cases whereby, we have high blood sugar, because when that happens, of course, usually our body produces insulin that actually brings it down, and that, of course, tends to interfere with the mood and judgment. All right. Yes, especially for the people of autism. I get what you're saying, because now I really try, from your point of view, you're trying to advise for foods that do not actually cause other problems that can make this condition worse. Yes, so because again, if she's taking too much sugar, it can bring other problems in her diet, which can trigger the autism to be worse. Which is actually true. And that is why, in fact, she also needs to make sure that at least she increases a protein intake, because proteins are actually very good. They tend to make sure that we stabilize our blood sugar. So proteins are good. So as much as we are talking of reducing or avoiding, dairy products, the other sources of proteins can be very important. Like, for example, we have the legumes, we have the white meats and all that. Those ones are very good. Yes, for this condition. All right. Yes. Then,
We also have, just to add, we have, omega-3, which is also important.
Okay.
And that's where we have some of these seeds in front of us.
Okay.
They're very good. So for the ones who cannot be able to access some of these seeds, like the flax seeds or the chia seeds, they can actually make use of the seafoods. The sardines and the salmon, they're very good in terms of omega-3, because that tends to reduce inflammation.
Okay.
Yes.
How do we prepare, let's say, flax seeds? Can they be eaten?
Okay.
Are they roasted?
Okay, flax seeds can be roasted and taken as snacks, as part of our snacks. They're very good. The people take cereals, and some of them would prefer to add, for example, flax seeds to their Weetabix. Those are some of the ways you can actually make use of these seeds.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Then I see that when you are doing the intervention,
Yes.
you talked about increasing water.
Yeah, of course, water is important. Water is very important because it actually plays a key role when it comes to the coordination. Yeah, because usually our brain usually sends signals to different parts of the body, and it's usually uses what you call the neurotransmitters. And that is why water intake is actually very, very important, because it determines our blood volume. So most of the chemicals are usually sent through the blood and all that. So water is very important.
Okay.
Yes.
And so then I see we have a nice laid vegetable salad.
Yeah, vegetable
And
salads.
it looks extremely
Yeah, vegetables are very
nutritious.
good because, as I said, some of the patients with this condition have what you call digestive issues. And people get digestive issues because of not taking enough fiber, which is very important for digestion.
True.
And of course, some people don't take enough water. So such vegetables are actually very good. And of course, for example, we have tomatoes, we have carrots. And the goodness is, apart from fiber, we're also getting nutrients. You can see the different colors simply means that they have different nutrients, because our body usually needs different nutrients because they work as a team. And that is very important when it comes to our metabolism.
Okay.
Yes, so it's important that these vegetables are actually included as part of the foods. Of course, at times, you can also take, cooked vegetables, but it's important that salads are also part of the diet.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, so vegetables can also be taken as a snack, for instance?
Yeah, vegetable can be taken as a snack. For example, somebody can take some carrot sticks as snacks. It's okay. They can be taken as snacks. Even, cucumbers can be taken as snacks.
Okay.
Yes, in addition to other foods.
So in that case, can we snack in?
Yeah, good. You can try.
Yeah, sure.
That's good. Yeah, full of nutrients.
Yeah, sure. So this marks the end
Yes.
of this segment.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for making time for us.
Yeah.
For our viewers back at home, thank you so much for joining us in this program. Up until next time, from us, it's goodbye. For kids with autism, studies show that vigorous activity for more than 20 minutes can help decrease stereotypical behaviors, hyperactivity, and aggression. Exercise not only helps children with autism better engage in environment, but it also helps promote weight loss and leads to better overall health. Full body exercises are best for kids with autism to increase coordination, strength, endurance, and body awareness. Our fitness expert gave us general advice for autism patients.
First of all, you have to stretch. Static stretch, normal stretch. Just be flexible, fine, jacket side. My lower body locked. I'm still working on my upper body. Swing, swing, swing. Now involving the lower body, you turn. Even the leg, turn, leg straight. Turn, 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 turn. We now take it lower, involve your joints, front leg 90, back leg straight, stretch out. Now punch side, punch side, punch side, punch side, punch side, and up. Try to reach your toes, stretch your quads back, your back, lower, 2, 3, 4, 5, up. You bend back, you take it side, you stretch your obliques and your inner thigh muscles, quads, lower, up. The other side, take it, up. Far away lunge, beat, you make it 90, backward straight. up, turn side, straight, up. You make a sit squat back, confirm your hip joint, your glutes. Up, out, rabbit for the last time. Up and out. You can carry up the knee, take it up, confirm all your lower joints. Take it up, take it up, take it up. Okay, remember, we've stretched, we've done a warm-up. Now we're going to the next step, which is called cardio. But today, the form of cardio that we're going to do, we're going to use skipping rope. Yes. Everything you are doing, especially indoor or outdoor workouts, you have to do them in sets. That will give you the maximum number of minutes or hours. Huh? Let's do it together now. We go as a team. Up, let's go 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, the next bit of it, let me take for strength. Lower body strength. Normal one without a weight. Let's take it down 1. 1. Up. You resist down 2. 2. Up. Take it down 3. 3. Up. You give me 4. 4. Up. Give me 5. 5. Up. Give me 6. 6. Up. We go 7. 7. Resist. We go 8. Give me 9. 10 and hold it down. 10 and up. Let's now go into abs. Huh? Abs workout where we tone our abs before we work on our arms. 1, reach your toes.
Hey, my toes are far.
Give me 2. 2. That's the goal. You have to stretch with the time you will reach. Give me 3. 3. Back. Give me 4. 4. 1. Give me 2. 2. Give me 3. 3. Give me 4. 4. Give me 5. 5. Perfect. You want to just burn fat, avoid heavy weights, just use small weights that will enable you stretch your muscles day to day, and you burn fat. You take it up and down. That position, don't change. Up, down, 2, down, 3, down, jack your elbow up, 4, down, give me 5, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, you jack it up, you pull your wings, 9, down, 10, and down, up, you jack, you stretch. You're now going to punch up, 1, back, punch 2, 2, you can do it, down, give me 3, 3, down, give me 4, 4, down, give me 5, 5, change. You take time at each and every position.
I am Dr. Fasaz Agay, a general surgeon and a public health specialist. I could not agree more with what the doctor, nutritionist, and the fitness expert have already said on autism. Nevertheless, let us do a quick recap on the subject. Autism, or Autism Spectrum Disorder, in short ASD, refers to a variety of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communication, and by unique strengths and differences. ASDs are any developmental disabilities that have been caused by a brain abnormality. Research showed that there are many types of autism caused by different combinations of genetic and environmental influences. Scientists suspect that a faulty gene or genes might make a person more likely to develop autism when there are also other factors present, such as a chemical imbalance, viruses, chemicals, or lack of oxygen at birth. In a few cases, autistic behavior is caused by rubella virus in pregnant mothers. Can autism be treated? While there is no known cure for autism, there are treatment and education approaches that can address some of the challenges associated with the condition. Intervention can help to lessen disruptive behaviors, and education can teach self-help skills for greater independency. Number one, being immunized against rubella, also known as German measles, before becoming pregnant, can prevent rubella-associated autism. Following delivery, there are certain measures that may be helpful in preventing autism. Number two, avoid chemical exposure that can potentially predispose a child to autism during pregnancy. It is essential to avoid taking any drugs during pregnancy unless the doctor specifically prescribes them. This is especially true for some seizure medications, such as valproic acid, a drug prescribed for the treatment of convulsion, seizures, migraine headache, and bipolar disorders. Number three, finally, it is essential to avoid drinking alcohol beverages of any kind during pregnancy.
Most parents of autistic children in Africa are dealing with the stigmatization that comes with letting people know their child is autistic. This has slackened the process of getting medical intervention for children suffering from autism. Don't be silent. Come out, speak up, and join support groups that will enable you to have your child grow feeling loved and a part of the greater society. Integration with the rest of the children in the society is important for autistic children. I have been your host, Bill Hawaka. Thanks for watching Health and Flavor. See you next time. Bye-bye.